So first, a response to the folks that are pushing the bioweapon thesis about the COVID vaccine. They issued some responses to me on their, I think, respective Substacks or blogs. What's interesting is I said I suspected that these were Pfizer allies or somebody in the pharmaceutical industry was pushing this, and I'll explain a response to some of their comments about that. And it turns out it appears the original source for this, hey, the vaccine is not really an FDA product. It's really just a Defense Department bioweapon, and that Pfizer was just acting as an agent of the government. That it sounded like an enhanced Pfizer defense. It is what it really was, disguised as exposing the true conspiracy. And I says, I was like, this sounds like a pharma-connected deal, Pfizer-connected deal at some level, even if it isn't Pfizer sponsoring it itself, somebody in the pharmaceutical industry currying favor in the future for Pfizer. Well, it turns out the original source for this Sasha whatever, apparently has a quarter century of experience in, guess what industry? Pharmaceutical industry. I mean, seriously. And their response is complete crap. They're trying to convince people. And this relates to another place where you have to be careful about trusting certain sources of information. To make it clear, they're trying to convince people that Brooke Jackson's claim would be stronger if she alleged it was a bioweapon. No, it wouldn't. It would eliminate her claim. Eliminate it. Not only her claim would be dismissed right away. Done, finished, never can sue. Next part is that nobody could sue anywhere, any place. They're just lying to people about this. They're just flat out lying to them. The government has sovereign immunity, right? I mean, you can't sue the government for a bioweapons program. It's just not available as an option, even if that was the case. So the idea that her case would be strong, a False Claims Act claim requires that some non-government entity lied to the government that tricked the government into paying them money. If somebody is doing something at the behest of the government in accord with the government, then there is no False Claims Act claim. There is no Key Tam Act claim. And these people who purport to have read all the legal briefings, and in one case is a quarter century industry experience in the pharmaceutical industry, where you should be familiar with False Claims Act, claims not to know that, and in fact is lying to people overtly about the law. And, at some point you got to go, The second thing is just apply common sense to this, right? When you have an idea out there, that means that's less likely to lead to legal remedy, less likely to lead to legislative remedy, less likely to be persuasive to the public, less likely to be persuasive to decision makers. Ask yourself, maybe that strategy is either a poor strategy by someone well-intended or a deliberately bad strategy. And when someone can be really good at legal analysis and factual analysis and then get basic law wrong and basic fact wrong repeatedly, ask yourself what's really going on. I think the people pushing the bioweapon theory, I think a good number of them, I think the original source at least, is this is a disinformation campaign, pure and simple. It is a flat-out disinformation campaign. Because if you go from saying, ask yourself what's more persuasive to the public. So put aside the legal remedy issue, that there's no legal remedy if this is a bioweapon. None, zero, zilch, zunka, nada. Right? Anybody in the pharmaceutical industry knows that very well. Remember, this was Tyson's original defense, was we were acting at the behest of the government in our mandate. And the only reason why you could still sue them in that case is because the Religious Freedom Restorations Act would apply to the mandate if they were acting as a government agent. But otherwise, the reason why they went there was because normally, in almost every other case, you're immune from suit if you were acting as an agent of the government. I've been a harsh critic of sovereign immunity for these reasons. But ask yourself, in the court of public opinion, here's one narrative. Big Pharma lied in order to get tons of money to push an unsafe, ineffective drug that they disguised as a vaccine to line their own pockets. Is that something versus the United States government for many years has wanted to kill everybody? Which do you think is going to be more persuasive in the court of public opinion? Which do you think is going to add allies versus lose allies? The same with public decision makers. Which narrative work? You say, look, we have a serious problem. Immunity, legal immunity for big pharma allows them, creates distorted incentives that encourages, incentivizes them to put out dangerous, ineffective products when they can line their pockets with it and have no risk. Versus if I'm sitting down and talking to a senator and saying, you know what? The Defense Department wants to murder everyone. And that's what COVID vaccine is. They want to murder everyone. Which do you think I can actually get a hearing for? And I get, okay, the tin hat's over there. See you later. So ask yourself, they're pushing an argument that any common sense would tell you, not only do you not have a legal remedy, not only are they just factually lying, but that will be less persuasive in the court of public opinion, will be less persuasive in the court of law, will be less persuasive in the legislature, less likely to get your relief or remedy. Maybe their motivations are bad. But I'm done with those people. They're just lying to you. I mean, especially you spent 25 years in the pharmaceutical industry and you don't know how to read a statement of work? Really? Really, Sasha? You don't know how to do a statement of work that says over and over and over and over and over and over and over, over and over and over and over and over and over and over that the FDA regulations govern this agreement. And then you're out there lying to people saying there was no FDA requirements in this contract. That's a flat-out lie. Flat-out lie. She's a fraudster. She's a disinformation agent. So stay away from those people. Don't use them as sources for anything. I mean, once you catch them lying, you can't trust them on anything else like that.